Another fan base that is fired up, but not for the right reasons, the Oklahoma Sooners. They lost 49-0. And if it's possible to say it wasn't that close, it wasn't that close. At the Red River Shootout, the Sooners are in disarray. They've lost 3 games for the first time in about 20-something years. They look incompetent on defense. They look incompetent on offense without Dillon Gabriel, who's been out with a concussion. Don't know if he's coming back this week or not. Bill Connelly from ESPN had an interesting story yesterday about their performance the last 3 weeks in terms of just against the spread. It's one of the worst 3-week stretches in the last 25 years in terms of just, what they were favored and then how it played out on the field in losses to, Kansas State and
TCU and Texas.
And then Texas. So 3 straight losses. And what do you think has happened to that team? Because I remember you walked away from the Nebraska game feeling really good about them.
Did, and they don't play defense. They've given up 500 or more total yards in the last 3 weeks. Dillon Gabriel's in again. Their quarterback injuries factor in, right? When Dillon Gabriel went down, that's okay. You're not beating Texas probably. I think I picked them on this show to cover, thinking Gabriel might play, but yeah, they're dysfunctional right now, and they've been dysfunctional a little bit since the beginning of the season. Remember, they fired an assistant coach before the season started. You never know. I mean, like with locker rooms, you just never know what's going on. I'll tell you right now, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you'd rather have Josh Heupel than Brent Venables. I mean, that's another problem. Josh Heupel, every time they see him win, because that's how Oklahoma likes to win, the way Tennessee is winning with 50 points a game, and you can't stop our offense, and our quarterback's efficient. They're not doing that right now. And I'm stunned that they're favored by this much this week. And I know I've been making jokes about Kansas for weeks, but not only do I think Kansas could cover, I think they're the better team right now. Now, I say that Oklahoma could have that rise up moment. We're at home. We've got to remind somebody, Big 12 games are they're weird for me. I talked about them for years. I don't necessarily like watching Big 12 games because the Big 10 football me is I can't. You like them. I don't. I don't like. What did I text you during TCU Kansas? I said they're playing flag football in the second half.
Football in the second half.
It might be exciting for others, but when there's just no, if it's high level offensive execution, which is what was going on there, that's fine. But if it's just horrendous defense, which Oklahoma is playing, I'm not cool with that. So, you can make fun of me all you want. I'd rather watch Purdue, Minnesota than some of those Big 12 games when they get up to that number.
Iowa, Illinois?
No, maybe not that one. Maybe not a 9-6er, but like execution is what. But obviously that Kansas TCU game was super exciting. But point being, I just don't think teams can win a national championship without defense. And that's always been the knock on the Big 12. And who's their last national champion? Texas. And they had a defense in 2005. They had a bunch of NFL guys on that defense.
So you talk about a quarterback situation, and Dillon Gabriel was out. There's been a lot of teams that have had to play backup quarterbacks here this year, including Kansas on Saturday. Right. And they continued to play at a high level. You need to have a backup quarterback at this point. Texas has had to use 2 quarterbacks. Notre Dame has had to use 2 quarterbacks. There's a lot of teams out there that have had to do it. And so I'm as stunned as you. I don't know what has gone on in Oklahoma. You should have a second quarterback that is functional. They were not functional on Saturday on offense or defense.
No, and they got beat, and Texas smelled that, and stunning to me that they won 49-0. But